Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning back in to I Shot Logic. Got a special little edition today. I had to react to this because I knew exactly what was going to happen as soon as the fallout was finalized between LeBron and the Lakers. I already knew what was going to happen. I knew they was going to try to make LeBron the victim at first and talk about how, the Lakers were disrespecting him and all this, right? But now they've put a whole new spin on it. ESPN, they are the spin doctors. I mean, they're hitting this for LeBron with more positive angles than a protractor. We're going to play some of this. I'm going to react to it in between. So let's get into it.
We begin with seismic breaking news out of the NBA as we come on air. Brian Custer, Matt Barry, Shams Charania, our NBA insider with us. Kendrick Perkins here to break all things down. This is the one we've been waiting for, Shams, and it happened within the hour. LeBron James has made his decision.
LeBron James has informed the Los Angeles Lakers that he is moving on. He told the Lakers that they can move on with their business this offseason because he will be playing his 24th NBA season elsewhere. So now LeBron James departs the Lakers after 8 years. He won the 2020 NBA championship there. He will now hit NBA free agency tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'm told happiness is the biggest factor in his decision to leave the Lakers and to go elsewhere. Wherever he ends up, it's about where will he and his family be happy. From my understanding, it's not going to be a money-driven decision.
Okay, so first off, hold up right there. Let's expose lie number one. LeBron ain't the one that is telling them that they can get the fuck on. They're the ones that told him that last year when they didn't give him the extension. So this whole thing about him being in the driver's seat, he was the one that decided that he was going to break up with them, is straight bullshit. I mean, if your plug don't hit you back for 2 weeks, how are you going to be the one to say, text him back, be like, man, I ain't fuck with you no more. I'm going to get my gas from somewhere else. How you going to break up with him and he ain't talked to you in 2 weeks? For one. And secondly, now it's all about family and it's all about happiness and all this bullshit. We already know how that conversation went with Savannah. I ain't going back to Cleveland. We out here, it's warm, it's cold in Cleveland. I ain't going back there. She already done made it clear to him that she wasn't going back to Cleveland, bro. If you go by yourself. You can fly back and forth and do whatever, but I ain't going. So if we want to talk about the happiness from that perspective, I guarantee you that's how that conversation went. And the third thing here, it's not a money-driven decision. How is it not a money-driven decision when you was the one that told them that you wasn't going to take nothing less than max dollars? You made it about the money. What are we talking about? All right, let's continue.
This has been a Lakers organization that has been trending in different priorities, right around Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves. And so today, LeBron James, there's a lot surrounding this decision. And whether he was going to stay or leave, he decides to let them know on the eve of free agency he will be moving on, and so should they.
All right, we're going to unpack this from several different angles because there's so many ways to attack it, but this just happened, so we want the organic reaction to this news. So, Perk, with you, your reaction, 8 years in L.A., LeBron decides to say farewell.
Well, the Lakers just fumbled the bag, and they did that when they chose to prioritize Austin Reeves over LeBron James. A blind man could see this past season that outside of Luka, LeBron was more valuable and more important to this franchise as far as them trying to get where they're trying to go, and let's get back to the promised land.
Here go Kendrick Perkins. We already knew what angle he was going to come with, right? So here he says that they fumbled the bag. Every team in the league getting younger, but they fumbled the bag when they prioritized Austin Reeves over LeBron James, when the player that they recruited and got in Luka is a player that they need to be listening to because he's the one that they're building the future around. How did the Lakers fumble the bag catering to Luka Doncic when Luka's the future? So the player that he wants to have is the player that's most important. That's what you prioritize. Why would you prioritize LeBron? As far as helping them get to the promised land goes, Rui Hachimura was the most consistent player they had in the last part of the regular season in the playoffs. So LeBron, I don't see it. Big Perk's got to cash that check from Clutch. So they got to do what they got to do.
LeBron James was still playing at an all-NBA level. Don't look at the numbers. He just happened to take a back seat because that was the ask of him. But again, when you think about Bron and you think about how he moves, he waited to see if the Lakers was going to prioritize him first. And he probably got in his feelings, which led to this decision, and rightfully so. We're talking about the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball. Still playing at a high elite level, still is doing things that we haven't seen before. And on top of that, he was the leader of that squad. He was the leader of that locker room. And leadership comes not just from your production in between the lines, it comes from your voice, the way that you approach your craft every day, the way that you arrive at the arena, the practice facility, the examples that you're setting for us, how you're taking care of your body. He was that in that locker room. And so now Luka Doncic is going to have to elevate his game even more from a leadership standpoint. And J.J. Redick is now going to have to coach his ass off because he don't have that floor general on the floor anymore when it comes to LeBron James, who's, by the way, one of the highest IQ guys that we have ever seen.
How many lies can be told in 60 seconds? First of all, he ain't the greatest of all time. And secondly, he's not really playing at an elite level simply because he took a back seat. He's not playing at the level he used to because he can't. And as far as being a leader and leadership qualities and in the locker room and all this stuff, didn't I just do a video like a few days ago talking about Bill Platsky, the writer for the LA Times, had described Kevin Durant telling him about LeBron and how toxic he was in the locker room. Austin Reeves rumors about him need to be traded and all this stuff that went on. And you want to tell me that LeBron is the consummate leader? That's what I'm getting from you, Big Perk. LeBron's the ultimate leader. He's going to be the one that's supposed to help them get to where they want to get to. He's all that. Nigga, please. Dude, Luka ain't got to do nothing but play. And he'll be a lot happier playing without having that pressure and that toxicity in the locker room coming from LeBron. Austin Reeves will be free. Luka will be free. They'll play free. They'll be fine. J.J. Redick, he'll coach free. He'll be fine. He just came off of 2 back-to-back 50-win seasons. He going to be fine if they keep him. If they haven't already got a coach in negotiations that they're going to get or whatever. If they do keep J.J. Redick for this season, he's going to be fine. LeBron, yeah, he's got that basketball IQ, but what does that IQ led him to? Whether they had a formidable roster or a weak one. One bubble championship and a Western Conference Finals appearance, that's all they got.
Yeah. LeBron took offense to them saying, all right, now you need to be the third wheel, and this is Luka. And then he sees Austin Reeves get, obviously, the extension. You take a pay cut, wait a minute.
I'm LeBron.
And I'm the guy.
Even if I'm 41.
Exactly.
Right.
So I think, Shams, people are going to look at this and say, okay, so this means he's going to Golden State. So what's the pursuit there with Golden State and now LeBron?
All of the leagues and contenders will go pursue LeBron James now formally. There are already a dozen teams out of all the teams that feel like they have a playoff shot, shot at an NBA championship, that were getting in line to pursue LeBron James. When I talk to teams around the league, there are a few that really stand out from the pack. It's the Golden State Warriors, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Miami Heat as far as where LeBron James could land.
Shams, excuse me, Brian Windhorst and Rich Paul said that there were 12 teams that were waiting, and we come to find out that shit ain't true. Because for one, everybody's only been naming 3 teams: Cleveland, Golden State, and Miami. That's all we've heard. What about these other 9 teams? Ain't no damn 12 teams looking for him. Ain't no 12 teams checking for him. That's bullshit. That's a damn lie. Wendy got caught in it.
But we've been reporting it here on ESPN the last 24 hours.
Right.
Draymond Green's decision to decline his $27.7 million player option was made for a reason. And that reason was to give the Warriors flexibility to go out and pursue LeBron James and potentially Anthony Davis via trade in a package deal. And so if you are LeBron James and you look up and 3, 4, 5 days from now, there's a Warriors team there with Stephen Curry, Anthony Davis, and Draymond Green. I think that's a pretty darn good pitch.
Opting out, I think for us, it leaves optionality. It gives optionality. You know, it allows to possibly do some things.
We all knew Draymond was going to opt out. He's going to try to make room for his boy. LeBron's his boy. If it all works out, great. But I'm just curious to see what it's going to look like whenever things start going downhill. Whenever they go on a losing streak or something like that. I want to see what kind of temperament Draymond's going to have with LeBron whenever LeBron starts pointing fingers at everybody else in the locker room. That's going to be fun to see. That's going to be some Orville Redenbacher type shit with 2 whole sticks of butter melted on top. I can't wait to see that. Let's continue.
From where you sit, where would LeBron be best served to end his career?
Well, I mean, that's all. Because, like, LeBron James need to have his phone on Do Not Disturb. Because every team that's considered a title contender needs to at least be shooting their shot. If I'm the Minnesota Timberwolves, if I'm Anthony Edwards, I'm calling LeBron James. If I'm Jokic, wherever he at, if he's riding his horses, I'm calling LeBron James. If I'm the New York Knicks, I'm calling LeBron James. Like, LeBron James moved the needle. LeBron James is going to put butts in the seat.
Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey has nothing on ESPN. They're on some Clockwork Orange, Pennywise, It type shit. This clown show is beyond the circus. LeBron should have his phone on, Do Not Disturb. Everybody should be calling him. If I'm the Minnesota Timberwolves, Minnesota should be calling him. Why in the fuck would Anthony Edwards want to team up with him no more than Luka needs to? Why in the fuck would he want to do that? He can't help them. If he couldn't help the Lakers with a healthy Luka, what the hell is he going to do for Minnesota? Denver? Jokic? Denver with Jamal Murray just a few years removed from a championship themselves, they should be calling LeBron? For what? With his non-defense playing self. He can't help them. The Knicks? Oh my God, the Knicks. Why in the hell would the Knicks disrupt what they got going on? They got a great sum of moving parts with continuity that all play well. They got an MVP guy in Jalen Brunson. They got Karl Anthony Towns. They got Mike Brown. Why in the fuck would Mike Brown want to deal with LeBron again? With an older LeBron James, a more set in his ways LeBron James. I mean, come on, man. Ain't no benefit for LeBron James to join that squad. He knows this shit. They are worse than Fox News. They cat for their shepherd more than Fox News does.
Everyone needs to be on the phone. Everyone needs to try to convince him to come on, because we assuming that LeBron James is only going to play for one more year, but he may play for two more years.
But whose call
so
should
we
he
don't
take?
know.
Whose call should he take and go?
I mean, to be honest, I would have Golden State at the top of my list.
All right, Big Perk. True enough, his best shot at this point probably would be to team up with Steph and for them to put a team together there. But I just think it's kind of a taint on both of them's legacies, to be honest with you. I mean, the guy that has bested you in the finals 3 out of 4 times, you gonna join him? You gonna pull a Kevin Durant and go join him to try and win? Well, you didn't get to play with Chris Paul. We know you wanted to do that. So, I mean, if it's fulfilling a dream for you, that's fine. Having a top-heavy team full of aging Hall of Famers, I don't know if that's really a recipe for success. When we just seen a team of babies in San Antonio knock out the defending champs and go to the finals. If they do put together a winning formula there, it'll be because of Steph. They'll do everything they can to try to make it about LeBron, but Steve Kerr and Steph are going to have to be the ones to manage all that. We might as well get the soap opera music started now, because as soon as he touches down in Golden State, it's going to be a whole nother thing. Their fans, I feel bad for them. I don't really see it making them a championship contender. So we're going to see.
Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul telling our Shams Charania that LeBron has informed the Lakers that after 8 seasons and a title together, they can move on without him. Sources told Shams that the Lakers had expressed interest in bringing LeBron back. He squashed that interest today, saying, "I am going to play elsewhere." The Lakers' Jeannie Buss released this statement saying, in part, "We will always be thankful for his 8 years with the Lakers, including the title he led us to in 2020 and the countless records he broke in purple and gold. We wish him all the best in the future, both on and off the court. He will always be a cherished part of the Lakers family."
ESPN, I swear, y'all must think we didn't hear none of what was going on. They were interested in signing him back, but LeBron squashed it and said, "Y'all can go the fuck on. I'm going to play somewhere else." Like LeBron wasn't pissed off because they wouldn't offer him a contract. And you sit here and expect us now to adopt this whole narrative that LeBron was the one that was holding the keys?
The fewest minutes and points per game in any of his 23 seasons. Our NBA reporter, Dave McMenamin, joins us now from Los Angeles. Okay, Dave, I guess the first question is, what factors led to LeBron saying, you know what, it's time for me to move on from LA?
Right, and this decision was about LeBron, his happiness, and his family's happiness. And obviously, this was a decision that he's been mulling over since the offseason, but it really began before then. Obviously, last summer, when LeBron opted into the final year of his contract with the Lakers and did not negotiate an extension at that point, this day was a possibility.
You need to stop You're losing credibility with the audience with this bullshit. And to be honest with you, the only reason why I watch is just to get your spin, because I know it's going to be about some bullshit, as it is, as we're seeing right now. He must think he's some sort of wordsmith or something. You think we didn't catch that? He's been mulling over this for a while, and it all started last summer when he decided not to negotiate. He decided not to negotiate his contract. Bullshit, we all know the story. They didn't offer him an extension. He wanted to stay a Laker, and he wanted to get all the money, and they told him, we're not going to keep you, and we're not going to offer you no max contract. What the fuck are you talking about up here, man? You lying your ass off. So he got pissed off and felt disrespected, and now that he found an out, now he's going to stick his chest out and say, oh, well, fuck y'all. But before then, they were sitting there worrying about the optics and how it looked that a guy that's been the face of the league for the last 20 some odd years can't find a team that's willing to pay him what he wants and willing to do what he wants. And to be quite honest with you, all this is going on here right now. I have no doubt in my mind, I'm willing to bet that Adam Silver got on the phone and called a few franchises and said, look, we still need LeBron to generate revenue. That's Adam Silver's mindset. It ain't a good look if we can't get LeBron signed because he's been the face of the league all this time. It's not a good look for us. We need to get one of these teams to help LeBron save face and get him out of this situation because this is an embarrassment. And then as soon as that got arranged, guess what happened? Now he gets to come up here and say that he's the one that told the Lakers to kick rocks. I guarantee you, Adam Silver had something to do with this. Because just 2 days ago, Clutch Sports was looking like a bunch of fucking clowns. They still are looking like clowns, but they were looking a lot more clownish a couple of days ago when LeBron had no place to go. 12 teams that they're talking about, you ain't mentioned a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, a seventh, or an eighth team, let alone a 12th team. Y'all glazed LeBron so much, if there was 12 teams that was really looking, you would have mentioned all 12. This nigga was homeless. Kicked out on the street. The Lakers had his practice bag, warm-ups, pills in his balcony and shit. They threw all that shit out. They had it sitting there by the door for him to come pick it up. And there had to be some stuff done in the back channels to make sure that LeBron didn't get embarrassed any further. Y'all like strippers. Y'all can't tell the truth.
And now we have a guy who decided that his body feels well enough to continue to play basketball, and he's going to find a spot that, in essence, will feel like the proper final chapter. The Lakers are in a position of transition ever since they traded for Luka Doncic. LeBron will be able to join another team in a different phase and have it feel like a proper ending to a Hall of Fame career.
And so if you're LeBron, you look around, you see Luka, extension, Austin Reeves, extension. In the postseason, they told you to be the third scoring option. How much of that kind of factored in? And by the way, if you come back, take a pay cut.
You know, I reported about a couple weeks ago that a source close to LeBron said that LeBron rocks with Luka. So this was not any sort of butting of the heads between two superstars that led to him leaving. And also, he reluctantly accepted a third role, but ultimately he did accept that third role and relished the success the team was able to have, and certainly enjoyed shifting back into a primary role, not under the circumstances with Reeves and Luka being hurt in the playoffs, but certainly being able to show that he could still do it at that stage of his career. But I'm not reading this as some big acrimonious moment between LeBron's camp and the Lakers. This was LeBron deciding that there is something out there that will feel more appropriate, more real, more special, however you want to describe it, to have this final march, again, of what's been one of the best careers we've ever seen by an NBA player.
Again, more lies. He rocks with Luka. After all the stuff that went down, them prioritizing Austin Reeves, you're going to sit here and tell me that none of that was in LeBron's head and none of that factored into his level of festivity that he had. Luka had everything to do with that. And you mean to tell me that LeBron is like, oh, I ain't got no hard feelings. We know he didn't take that laying down. He didn't take that lightly. Dog, we know LeBron. He's too petty. He's got no reason to care what Luka thinks.
Okay, obviously one of the best careers we've ever seen. What about as a Laker? You know, obviously Kobe was adored by LA. How do you think LeBron and his Laker tenure will be remembered?
Listen, I think there is reason for some degree of disappointment looking back at that, but that was just because of the standard that LeBron had set coming to the Lakers. He was coming off 8 straight finals appearances when he joined the team. But anyone who was around that team in the 2019-2020 season will know forever how special and important he was to the Los Angeles Lakers franchise. This was a team, a franchise, a city in deep mourning and disarray after the tragic death of Kobe Bryant. And LeBron was able to bring that team together, bring that city together, and bring that group to a championship to finish off that season. That is storybook stuff. And I still hear Frank Vogel, the Lakers coach at the time, his voice echoing in my ear, him saying that he's been our lion, he's been our leader, and we'll follow him wherever he goes. He led an entire city through an impossible time with the championship on the other end.
Yeah, you're right about that. And as you pointed out, did lead them to an NBA championship.
Look, for me, ultimately, it comes down to this when it comes to his legacy in LA. He underachieved. He had more weapons at his disposal than he did in Miami, than he did in Cleveland. When it comes to the totality of Hall of Fame players, no matter their age, those 8 years in LA, to only get one championship, and it be an asterisk championship, a ring's a ring. I'm not taking it away from him. It was not by any means the hardest championship to win. His own teammates admitted that. At least 2 of them did. They were swept out of the playoffs a couple of times. Didn't make the playoffs a couple of times. Only one Western Conference final. There was a lot of things that they could have done. They could have kept that 2020 team intact. Maybe have won another championship in 2021 or 2022. But because of the things that he wanted to do and the way that he wanted to drive the car, and Jeannie capitulating to it, is what turned it into a damn circus. You know, she was appreciative of the fact that he brought another championship back to him. That's all great. In terms of his overall Laker legacy, he damn sure ain't getting no statue. And just one final thought. When we talk about LeBron's legacy, it's got to be a real dick in the face for LeBron and his fans to look at Miami, for example, and look at how they retired the jersey of a guy who never played a fucking minute in a Miami Heat jersey before they retired LeBron's jersey. Now, of course, LeBron's still playing, so I get it. But for Pat Riley not to even wait for LeBron to retire his jersey first after bringing in 2 championships, he retired the jersey of a guy that never even played for him. Of all the things that you can say about the GOAT debate and all that stuff, that's even funnier. That Michael Jordan's jersey is retired in Miami, a place where LeBron won 2 championships, and he never played a minute for that franchise. That's funny. Well, hey, that's all I got for today. Do me a favor, like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and catch you on the next one.